I did something wild, something I never thought I'd actually try. But curiosity got the best of me. I let artificial intelligence take over my entire travel planning process. No spreadsheets, no endless research, just me, my phone, and an AI chatbot. It handled everything: my transportation, where I'd eat, and even where I'd sleep at night. I handed over all the decisions. My main goal? To see if AI could actually help me save money, or if it was just another tech gimmick. And the results blew me away. I ended up saving a massive 70% compared to what I usually spend on similar trips. That's not just a little bit, that's a game changer. We always hear about travel hacks and secret tips online, but I wanted to see if technology could deliver real, measurable results. So, I decided to give full control to a travel planning chatbot. I didn't interfere or second-guess its choices. I simply typed, "Plan me a 2-day adventure as cheap as possible." I'll admit I was nervous. What if it messed up? What if I missed out on something important? But honestly, I was also really excited. There was a thrill in not knowing what would happen next. What happened next completely surprised me. The AI started sending me suggestions and deals I never would have found on my own. At every step, it uncovered discounts, special offers, and budget-friendly options that I'd usually overlook. It was honestly smarter and more resourceful than I expected. I found myself trusting its recommendations more and more. From catching the right bus to discovering a delicious local breakfast spot, the AI made suggestions that were both affordable and unique, things I never would have discovered by myself. This journey felt different from any trip I'd taken before. Every moment was a new experience, and every dollar stretched further. It was fun, fast-paced, and incredibly frugal. I got to try new things without worrying about overspending. And here's what I learned. Sometimes, letting go of control and trusting something new can lead to the best surprises and the biggest savings. Hi, I'm Eva. If you've ever met me or followed my adventures, you probably know that I'm obsessed with discovering new ways to make travel easier, cheaper, and more fun. I'm always jotting down ideas, testing out the latest travel gadgets, and scribbling notes in my journal about what works and what doesn't. My favorite challenge is figuring out how to see more of the world without breaking the bank. I spend hours comparing prices, hunting for deals, and reading up on budget travel websites. Budget travel isn't just a hobby for me. It's a passion and a way of life. There's a thrill in stretching every dollar and making each trip count. I love the challenge of making my money go further, whether it's finding the best street food or snagging a last-minute train ticket. But more than that, I believe travel should be accessible to everyone, no matter your background or budget. It doesn't matter where you come from, how old you are, or how much you earn. Everyone deserves the chance to explore new places and cultures. With the right tips and a little creativity, anyone can turn their travel dreams into reality. That's why I'm always on the lookout for new hacks, new tools, and new ways to make travel more affordable and accessible. This time, I decided to take things a step further and dive into something totally new. I started wondering, could artificial intelligence actually outsmart me at finding the best deals and planning the perfect trip? Could an app really uncover the cheapest flights, tastiest meals, and coziest hostels faster than I could? I wanted to put it to the test, learn everything I could, and share all my discoveries with you, so you can travel smarter too. For me, testing AI wasn't just about curiosity. It was about challenging myself and seeing what the future of travel might look like. The world of travel is changing fast, and I want to be ready for whatever comes next. Honestly, I think we're all going to be using AI to plan our adventures soon, and I can't wait to see where it takes us. I set myself a strict challenge: 2 days of travel, spending as little as possible. The goal was simple: see how far I could go and how much I could experience on an ultra-low budget. No luxury, no fancy hotels, and definitely no expensive meals. I wanted to strip travel down to the essentials. Just smart, simple choices, and a willingness to embrace the basics. To help me save every cent, I turned to AI. I figured, if anyone could find the cheapest way to travel, it would be an algorithm designed to hunt for deals and optimize routes. First, I gave the AI my starting point and asked it to suggest destinations I could reach within a few hours. Nothing too far, but far enough to feel like a real adventure. I told it, only pick places I can reach by the cheapest transport possible. Buses, trains, or even ride shares if they're affordable. Next, I asked the AI to find food options that wouldn't break the bank. No restaurants, just local eats. Street food, market snacks, or anything filling and cheap. For sleep, I challenged the AI to find the most budget-friendly options. Hostels, free stays like couch surfing, or even overnight rides that doubled as both transport and accommodation. My aim was to see if I could skip hotel costs entirely and maybe even sleep on the move. It was a big challenge, and honestly, I wasn't sure if it was possible. Normally, planning a trip like this would take me hours, comparing prices, reading reviews, and stressing over every detail. But this time, I decided to trust the AI completely. I handed over all the decisions, big and small, and let it guide me. The real question was, could I actually enjoy the trip without spending much? Would the experience feel just as rich, or would I miss the comforts I'd left behind? With my backpack packed and my phone in hand, I was ready to find out if ultra-budget travel could still be an adventure. I followed every AI suggestion, step by step, determined to see where this experiment would take me, and how much I could save along the way. To make things easy, I split my experiment into 3 parts: transport, food, and accommodation. These are always the biggest costs for travelers. If you can save here, you save everywhere. AI gave me a breakdown for each part. It listed all my transport options: buses, trains, ride shares. Then it found street food spots with good reviews and cheap prices. Finally, it suggested hostels, couch surfing, and even sleeping on a night bus. Each AI tip was clear. I just had to follow the steps. No stress about missing a bus or overspending on dinner. For the first time, planning felt simple and relaxed. I realized that having a system works. Dividing my trip into these 3 parts made it easier to focus and save. Transport can eat up your budget fast. But AI had tricks I never thought of. First, it checked off peak times for buses and trains. Prices were much lower early in the morning or late at night. Then, AI found direct routes to avoid extra tickets. It even suggested ride shares with locals, which saved money and let me meet new friends. I learned to use apps that compare prices live. AI gave me links and tips for each one. The best part? AI noticed nearby towns with cheaper connections. Instead of taking one pricey train, I took 2 cheap buses, with a quick walk in between. The route was longer, but the savings were worth it. In total, I spent less than half my usual transport budget, and I saw parts of the city I'd never noticed before. Food is a big part of any trip, but, eating out can be expensive. AI showed me how to eat well and still save money. It made a list of local markets and street food stalls, complete with opening times. I learned to go for breakfast deals at bakeries, fresh bread and coffee for just a few coins. AI explained which dishes were filling and cheap, like local stews or noodle soups. It even warned me about tourist traps to avoid. Lunch was simple. Street vendors serving hot meals for under $3. Dinner? I went to a small family-run place that AI found, where the portions were huge and the price tiny. My food bill was the lowest ever. I ate like a local, tried new flavors, and never felt hungry. Accommodation is usually my biggest cost, but this time, AI helped me turn it into my smallest. First, it searched hostel beds. Some were just $8 a night. Then it suggested couchsurfing, where locals host you for free. But the smartest idea was overnight transport. AI found a night bus that left late and arrived early. I slept on the bus, saved a hotel night, and woke up ready to explore. It was actually comfortable, and I met other travelers along the way. For the second night, I stayed at a hostel with free breakfast. AI even found a discount code for my booking. I made new friends in the common room and got great travel tips for my next stop. Thanks to AI, I spent less on sleep and got more out of my days. I expected the trip to be tough. Instead, it was easy. AI took care of the details. I didn't have to worry about missing buses or finding cheap food late at night. The best surprise? I enjoyed myself more. With less stress, I had more energy for exploring. I didn't have to plan every minute or search for Wi-Fi to check details. AI gave me everything in one go. The savings were real, but the freedom was even better. I felt like a traveler again, not just a planner. I had time to wander, to meet people, and to enjoy the moment. This trip changed how I see travel. Sometimes, a little help lets you experience more. Your turn to travel smarter. Would I recommend AI for travel planning? Absolutely. It's perfect for beginners and pros. It finds deals, avoids mistakes, and saves time. Even if you're not on a tight budget, AI can help you travel smarter. Next time you plan a trip, let AI do the work. Tell it your limits, your likes, and your dreams. You might be surprised at what it finds. And remember, the best journeys don't have to be expensive. I'm excited to try more travel hacks. Next, I'll test if I can travel for free, no money at all. Want to see how it goes? Follow along and I'll share every step. Travel is for everyone. Let's make it easier, cheaper, and more fun.